Hello, it's Mrs. Applegarth, and today I'm going to take you through Chapter 3, Lesson 3, and we're going to talk about using a budget. So exciting! I love budgeting. Um, our lesson objective is to compare the amount budgeted to actual expenditures. So there is what you plan and what actually happens, and we're going to keep track of the difference between those two. Have you ever been surprised by an unexpected expense? Our buddy Mark here tried out for basketball and made the team. Yay! He planned to pay the sports participation fee from money he'd saved working in the summer. However, he did not realize he would also have to buy his uniform. And this is for reals expense. My daughter is a senior and she plays basketball, and we just dropped $100 on some basketball shoes for a sports season that may not happen. Anyway, that's TMI. An expense summary. Once you've completed a budget sheet outlining your past expenditures, like we did last time, this is our little budget sheet example. You can use it to plan for your future spending. You may want to prepare a monthly expense summary, and as you guys move out and end up on your own, I highly recommend this, getting somewhere where you have a total of everything you've spent for the month. This report compares the amounts that you've spent to the amounts that you've budgeted. When you draft a budget, you should include an emergency fund. This is extra money set aside used for unpredictable expenses, such as medical bills, vehicle repairs, Nana's birthday that you accidentally got invited to, whatever. All right, so when we compare, what we're talking about is all we're doing is we're subtracting what we actually spent from what we budgeted. So let's look at our example here. Frank and Minnie have always kept accurate records of their expenditures remember, expend. Expenditures means what you've spent. Don't be afraid of the big word. At the end of March, they prepared an expense summary. They planned to spend $340 on groceries, but actually spent $361.85. How much more or less did they spend on groceries? So step one is to compare. So we're going to subtract $361.85 minus $340, and they spent $21.85 more than they budgeted. Here's the big word. When you guys are doing this assignment, you need the words more or the words less. So if they spent more, you say more, and if they spent less, you say less. Okay, let's do these two example problems together, and then you'll be ready for the practice assignment. All right, Zoe and Douglas budgeted $167.80. They spent $158.90. So we are going to subtract those two. And so let's grab our calculator. In my world, it is morning, and morning time is not my most accurate math time. So I use my calculator to help us out. $8.90 less than budgeted. Okay. And then here's our last example. $647 is our budgeted, spent $671.92. So we're going to throw that in our calculator minus our amount we spent. I'm going to ignore, when I write my answer, I'm ignoring the sign, because the sign tells us, did we spend more or less than we budgeted? And in this case, we spent $24.42 more. So when you get a negative number, it's bad. It means you spent over your budget. And that's where you get in trouble. But we need to dial back on the groceries a little bit. All right, you guys are ready to move on to your practice assignment, and have the best day ever.